Test, test, 1, 2. I'm missing something. Check, check. Test, test, 1, 2. Why can't I hear myself? Test, test, check, check. Let's see. Check, check. Let's try this. Test, test. Test, test, 1, 2. There we go. Check, check. Check, check. Okay. Cool, cool. All right, guys, welcome into Estes Field here on the campus of Central Methodist University for some Saturday baseball action here in the rain. This is Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications, bringing you the call for today's game between the Central Methodist Eagles, who will serve as the visiting team on the scoreboard, and the Missouri Valley College Vikings. I was going to say, I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen, but we can sure see it, and you might be able to even hear it through my mic. It is raining loudly, but as long as there's no other crazy things that happen, I'm not even going to say it to avoid the broadcaster's jinx, but as long as none of that happens, we should be good. So we'll get going here. I think Natalie popped up the defensive lineup for Missouri Valley for you, so we'll read those off here in a second as soon as I get situated. It's been a little chaotic. Natalie, can I have that? Can I have that? Thank you. So appreciate you guys all tuning in. So Magellan is going to lead things off for Missouri Valley. He's going to play short. Ian Daniels is going to play center. He's in the 2 spot. Stoner is at first. Ohashi is playing third. Jaden Ma, the DH, is in the 5th spot. Fernandez playing second. Simpliciano is in left. Turner is catching. Weber's playing right. And then I believe this is Neben. I'll have to double check myself. Thank you. Bobby Nichols is going to lead things off for CMU. And that first pitch hits him right in the shoulder, and that's going to be a leadoff hit by pitch, I guess, and he's going to sprint on down to first base. It's kind of a signature thing that the Eagles do. Remember, Logan McDonald kind of started that all off a couple years ago when I first got here. It's probably always been a thing, but anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we've got quite a full crowd. You guys can't see it just because that center field camera's not out there today, but with the rain and the wind, I figured we better save that for a nice day. Nichols is going to steal. Catcher says, I'll just leave that there, and then I'll be stolen base. First ball's taken for a strike. Counts now 0-1. So CMU and Valley split this doubleheader yesterday. Valley won the first game 10-6. They had a 3-run bomb from Jaden Ma in the 6th inning that really kind of put it out of reach. And then CMU bounced back to take game 2 off of a solid pitching performance from Marcus Pritchard in the 4-0 victory. Merced fouls that one off. Counts now 1-2. It's really coming down here, but we're see if we can get these games in tonight. Shout out to everyone who's braving the weather with us and staying back, and Nichols gets back in time. And this is, I believe this is Christopher Nielsen, number 19, who is our opposing pitcher today. Let me get his information down. Sophomore pitcher out of Oakley, Australia. Ball's taken. We're now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Runner on second. And they're going to go back and try and get Nichols again. Nope. Like I said, I think he finished last year with 57 stolen bases. It has the single-season stolen base record, and he's going for the career one, and he's only a junior, so he's well on his way to that record, and he's going to go for third. Catcher throws over. Not in time, though, and Nichols, after being hit by a pitch, steals second and then heads over to third. Merced out on the strikeout, so it's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring Jeremy Conforti to the plate. First pitch from Nielsen. And that's going to be sent back up the middle just past the shortstop, and Conforti's going to get off with a 1-out single here. So that's a single to short. I guess we'll say center. Tanner Sears coming to the plate. Tanner, a sophomore catcher out of Higginsville, Missouri. Bats right and throws right. 6-footer. He's also playing left field today. First pitch from Nielsen. Low and outside, ball 1. Second pitch, a little bit low, and that's taken for a ball. So Sears well ahead in the count. 2-0. A little bit low there. CMU leads 1-0 here. Tanner Sears ahead in the count, 3-0. Conforti gets back. Conforti drove in. Nichols from third on an RBI single back up the middle. Hi, Jeff. I don't know if you guys could see him, but that was our Director of Athletics, Jeff Sherman, giving me a shout-out through the window. Pitch taken for a strike, so 3-1 count now, 1 out. Conforti on first. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, and that's going to be ball 4. So hit by pitch, strikeout swinging, and then a RBI single for CMU. That's going to put runners at first and second with Alan West coming to the plate. West also pitching today. Senior pitcher, bats right and throws right, 6'4" out of Louisville, Texas. Transfer from Lyon College down in Arkansas. And he can do it all. We'll see what he can do here at the dish. Here's the first pitch from Nielsen. And that's going to roll. We'll see if that stays in, and it does. We'll see if they can get him. And he's safe. So that ball started to roll foul, and then it came back in fair territory, and just a tough position there for Nielsen, and bases are now loaded. And that's going to bring Tommy Giarola to the dish. So that's going to be an infield hit for Alan West. We'll have a pinch runner. So Caden Doan, he's going to come in. He'll run for West. And we'll have a pause here at the mound as we get rolling here in the first game of a 4-game series. This is game 3. So we'll be right back. We'll take a break. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here in the Hart Conference Network. All right, we're back. Bases loaded, 1 out. Tommy Giarola at the plate. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Falls behind on the count, 0-1. So now balls, counts even, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That one is sent back into center field. Center field plays a little bit, and that should be enough to score Conforti from third, and that's going to be a sacrifice fly. 2 outs on the board, but CMU pulls ahead 2-0 here, and that's going to bring Joe Weatherford to the plate. So sac fly to 8. He gets an RBI for that. All right. Joe Weatherford playing right field today for CMU. Joe, a junior utility switch hitter, throws right, 6'4", out of Flower Mound, Texas. He's a newcomer to this year's team. He's got runners at first and second with 2 outs. And his bat goes flying into the net. And that was scary. And that's just one of the things that happens in those situations when it's raining out. Bats are wet, the gloves are wet, and it just slips out of the hand. And good thing the netting was there, though. Here's the 0-1 from Nielsen. And that's just a little bit low and outside for ball 1. Counts even now, 1 apiece. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be sent foul territory over on the left side of the screen. Out of play. And it is really, really coming down. Here's the 1-2. Here's the pitch. And high and inside, and almost got Conforti there, so counts now even at 2. 2's across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs for CMU on 2 hits. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that's inside for ball 3, so count is now full. Runners are going to be going on this. Here's the 3-2. And I think that got Conforti on the leg, and he's going to have to walk that off. That didn't feel very good, I bet. Peyton Klein-Hesselink, our AT, came out to check on him, and Weatherford waved him off and said, no, I'm good. So we'll play on. Count remains full, 3-2. Runners on first and second, they're going. That ball's going to be hit foul, and I think that went into the Valley dugout, but no harm, no foul. Here's pitch. And got him. Got him on the inside corner. Rung him up. So that's going to do it here for the top of the first. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. CMU's got a 2-0 lead here over the Vikings in the top of the first. We're going to head to the bottom half of the frame. Viking bats coming up next. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, we are back for the bottom of the first here in Game 3 of this 4-game series. Alan West on the bump for CMU. He's also in the batting lineup as well. He's a two-way player, which is nice. So his first opponent this evening, is going to be Josiah Mogollon, junior infielder out of Bloomfield, Iowa, I should say, excuse me. Transfer out of Indian Hills Community College. Here's the first pitch from West. It's going to be right down the middle for a strike. Falls behind in the count. 0-1. Second pitch taken for a strike. West ahead. 0-2 now. Third pitch is taken for a ball. 1-2. Mogollon has yet to swing yet. 3 pitches here. Bottom of the first, game 1. Excuse me, game 3. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be fouled back out of play, probably into the softball field. Counts now 1-2. Oh. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be fouled back. Just a little bit out ahead of it. Sorry guys, I'm also writing down their lineup. I got a little behind here this afternoon. Here's the 1-2 from West. And just a little bit outside. Everyone in the stands wanted it, but the official was going to say no. Count moves even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from West. And got him that time. First punch out of the day for Alan West. He caught him looking, and that's going to bring number 20, Ivory Daniels, to the plate. Daniels, a junior outfielder out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He's transferred from Arkansas Baptist. And if he gets on base, he's a speedster as well, so something that those guys need to watch out for. Bats .358, 10 doubles, 4 home runs, 13 stolen bases. Shout out to Dylan Powell, our graduate assistant, for pulling that info for me. Just a little bit outside with that first pitch of the at-bat. West falls behind in the count, 1-0. And rain's still coming down pretty consistently, but not quite as loud as it once was. And he's going to send that over to Giarola. Giarola playing deep. That's just going to be a simple 4-3 ground out from Giarola to Conforti. And we'll have two outs for CMU as Luke Stoner comes to the dish. Luke, sophomore infielder out of Rockford, Illinois. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Falls behind in the count, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled back. Out of play. West jumping out in front real quick here. Bottom the first. 2 pitches, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looking for his second punch out of the inning right here. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. And got him. So West sits the side down in order. 1-2-3. Caught looking. A 4-3 ground out, and then a strikeout swinging. So that'll do it here for the first inning. CMU leads Missouri Valley College 1-0. Eagle Bats coming up here in the top of the second. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Heart Conference Network. We're back, and the breaks aren't quite as long as they normally are. I'll tell you why. It's because it's pouring down rain, and we're trying to get these 2 games in. So Joey Fitzgerald Jr. is going to lead things off. First pitch is taken for a ball. Count is now 1-0 in favor of Fitzgerald. Here's the 1-0, and that one is skied high to right field. 3 Vikings are over there. We'll see if any of them can get it, and just out of reach of them, and I think that bounced out into the bullpen, so that'll be a foul ball. Counts now even at 1 apiece. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss from Fitzgerald. He's going to fall behind in the count. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. A little bit low and inside. 2-2 now the count. That's going to be skied into left field. We'll see if Valley can get underneath it. And they do. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. So that's going to be a... So Logan Duty, number 9 hitters, catching today. I think I had this a little mixed up. I think... what's going on? Got a little bit out of order on my positions. Anyway, we'll fix that. That ball's taken for a ball. Falls behind. Even now, 1-1. Well, maybe I did have that right. Hold on. Who's catching? Oh, I am. All right, never mind. I'm losing it. It's okay. Uh-oh. Did we hit a light? We definitely hit a light. Counts 1-2 now. Anyway, it is what it is. 1-2 the count. That pitch is taken for a ball. His count now is 2-2. Yeah, I just heard a loud ping, and then everyone was looking up and was going ooh and ah, so I'll just assume that a light bulb got hit. Duty's going to send that over to right field. Should be an easy play for Valley, though, and that's going to be F9. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Bobby Nichols hit by a pitch, his first time out. Pitch taken for a strike. Counts now 0-1. Counts now even 1-1. Bobby Jr. outfielder from Detroit, Michigan. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be back up the middle. Tough play for Valley, and it's going to slip by, and I think they're going to have to give that an error. That's just me from watching that. I know it's slippery out there, but we'll have to ask the people and see what they think. All right, I stand corrected. Everyone in the box to the left of me gave that a hit, so tough play. We'll give it to him. So that's going to bring Robbie Merced to the plate. He struck out swinging his first time out. Nielsen trying to keep Nichols honest over there at first. You have to think he'll be looking to steal, though. So 2 outs here. Pitch taken for a ball, so counts now 1-0. Here's the pitch. High, slips out of the catcher's glove, and Nichols is going to scamper out over to second for another stolen base. A little bit of delay as we get some dry baseballs in the field of play here. Here's the 2-0 to Merced. That's just a little bit inside. Count's going to move to 3-0. Pitch to Merced. He looks back. Nichols. Attempted pickoff. Nothing doing there. I don't know if Bobby's been picked off this year at all. I don't think he has. Taken for a strike. Counts now 3-1. Nielsen's still got some work to do if he wants to get back in this count. Merced's not one of those guys you want to face when you got runners on, because he can get him. But broadcaster's jinx there. He takes that for a strike. Counts 3-2 now. Nichols will be going at first or at second regardless, because counts full, 2 outs. Here's the 3-2 from Nielsen. Here's the pitch. And got him on the corner. So you could hear the crowd. They did not agree with that one. I thought it was a little bit outside myself, but there's a reason that I'm not down there calling balls and strikes. So that'll do it here for the top of the second. CMU still got a 2-0 lead here as we head to the bottom half of the frame. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. Number 9? I think it is. All right, we're back. First pitch to Junbai Ohashi. It's taken for a strike. Falls behind the count 0-1. And I think there's still a little bit of rain out there, but not quite as much. So a little bit better playing conditions. That's going to be sent over to Merced. A long throw from Merced, and that one is way high. And that goes out of play, so that is definitely going to be a throwing error. So that'll be an E6. Not a good throw. So Ohashi is going to move from first to second. I think when, Natalie, correct me if I'm wrong, when those balls go out of play, you get to move up a bag? Is that how that works usually? Okay. I think that's how that works. Someone can tweet me if that is incorrect, or you can shoot me a message here. So, tough spot there. It's going to bring Jaden Ma to the plate. That ball is low and outside for ball 1. Jaden Ma, if you guys remember yesterday, had a 3-run jack in the 6th inning of game 1 yesterday and really kind of sealed it for Missouri Valley in the opener, and they went on to win that game 10-6. So he's another one that can provide some problems if you're not careful. Pitches outside for another ball, so counts now 2-0. Jaden's sophomore catcher and infielder from Canada. Allen falling behind in the count, 2-0. Here's the pitch, and that one's true, so that's right down the middle for a strike. Counts now 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's taken for a strike. So after... Oh, that makes sense. So I was correct? Okay, good. We were just confirming that if a ball goes out of play like that, you do get to move up a bag on that error. So that is the case. Thank you, Natalie. Here's the 2-2. That one is skied into right field, and that one is gone. A 2-run blast from Jaden Ma. He's got his 2nd home run in as many days, and this game is tied at 2 apiece here on a 2-run bomb. I think he hit that in the same spot last game. This game is now tied at 2 apiece. So that first run will be unearned for West, and that second run will be earned. So just based off that error, if I'm doing my scorebook keeping correctly. So that is a home run to right. 2 RBI. So Ruben Fernandez now at the plate. This is his first time through the coming up to bat. Falls behind in the count, 0-1, and that's going to be sent over out of play. We'll see if Forty can get over there. He cannot, but that'll go down as a strike. So count is 0-2. Right, Natalie? Is that what I got? Okay. There we go. Here's the 0-2 from West. Looking for his first out. And that's just a little bit outside. You can hear some folks do not agree with that call out here. Count 1-2. Here's the pitch. That's a little bit high and outside. Ball 2, so we are even now here. West still looking for his first out of this inning. Here's the pitch. And that's a little bit high, so count is now full 3-2. So 3 straight balls here. And good job by Fernandez to battle back into this one. Count full. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be sent over to left field. And Fernandez is going to have a single here to keep the inning rolling for Missouri Valley. So that's a single to left. That's going to bring number 28, Jaden Simpliciano to the plate. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt. Pulls back, though. That ball out of play. And now, the fact that that light got hit, every time I think a ball gets out of play, I think it's going to hit one of these lights. I don't mean to jinx it, though, so. I just always have that feeling now. Here's the 0-1. pitch. That's taken for a strike, so West head quickly in this count, 0-2. Simpliciano, sophomore utility pitcher out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Here's the 0-2. That one's a little bit outside. Duty had to scoot a little bit to his right to get to it. Counts now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. A little bit low. Taken for a ball. Count is now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. And that one misses for a ball. So count is full now, 3-2. After retiring the first three batters of the first inning. Had some trouble here in the second. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouls out of play on the third base side. Count remains full at 3-2. Fernandez is just sitting over there at first. Now he comes off a little bit. Here's a 3-2. He's going. That ball's also out of play, so we'll remain even here at 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Fouls that straight back to the backstop. And good job by Simpliciano. Really making West work for this out. West tossed a wet ball back into the Valley dugout. See if we can get a dry one here. This rain looks like it's kind of held up a little bit. It's died down. Here's the 3-2. That one is skied into the infield. Joey Fitzgerald says he's got it. We'll see if he does. And he does, so that's going to be the first out of that inning. Runners are going to stay put where they are. I say runners as if there's multiples, just one on at the moment. So that is going to be a pop up to third. That's going to bring Josh Turner to the plate. Josh, sophomore catcher out of Pensacola, Florida. Seeing his first action of this game. Takes that first ball. Low and outside. He moves ahead in the count, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 count. Swings and misses on that one. They call a balk. I'm not sure what happened there, but Fernandez was just able to go from first to second. We'll get confirmation on what that was exactly. So it was correct. That was a balk on West. So Fernandez moves up from first to second. That one's foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. And I think the count is 1-2. 1-2, 1-1. 1-1. Okay, thank you. One's across the board. Here's the pitch. That's going to be sent over to Fitzgerald. He's going to send that just to Conforti for the easy out at first. Fernandez is going to stay put at second, and that is going to bring the number 9 batter to the plate, Kyle Weber. Number 4? Yeah, Kyle. Yep. I need to write their numbers down on this sheet. He's the number 9 hitter. But he's wearing jersey number 4. Yes. Yes. I kind of know what I'm talking about some days. Most of the days I don't, but today I'm okay. Regardless, Weber takes that first pitch for a ball and moves ahead in the count 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a strike. West gets back into it. Count even now, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Thought about swinging. He held back, though. Doesn't matter, though, because that's going to be a called strike anyway from the umpire. So West just needs one more strike to get out of this inning. Fernandez sitting over there in scoring position at second. Following a single to left and a balk. And swing and a miss. West gets out of the jam, but not before the damage is done by Jaden Ma. Following an error by the CMU infield, Jaden Ma hits a 2-run bomb to right field to tie this game at 2 apiece. We'll see if the Eagles can respond here in the top half of the third. That'll do it for inning number 2. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hard Conference Network. All right. We're back, ladies and gents, here for top of the third. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Jeremy Conforti coming up to bat. Takes that one for a strike. He singled to center in his first at-bat. Plated Bobby Nichols from third. Counts now even at 1-1. I wish we could turn these lights on, but I know it's going to blind the center fielders. Fouls that one off. Ooh, you know what? I should have brought a lamp. If anyone's got a lamp out there and you want to bring it to the field, I will give it back to you at the end of the series. Otherwise, I will be using my phone battery, or my phone light, which is only on 7%. So I got a lot of problems going on today. It'll be fine. We'll work it out. A pitch taken high for balls. Counts now even at 2-2. Shout out to my crew for braving the elements in the late night baseball games. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Conforti gets that over to third, but it's going to be a nice play from Ohashi to Stoner, and that'll be the first out of the inning, so that's going to be a 5-3 ground out. Tanner Sears is going to come to the plate. He's playing left field today, number 21. He walked in his first at-bat. See what Nielsen can do against him. Here's the first pitch. Taken for a strike. Falls behind the count. 0-1. CMU 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Missouri Valley 2 hits, 2 runs on 2 hits. Here's the 0-1. Held up on that one, but that's going to be fouled out of play on the right side of the screen. He falls behind in the count quickly, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. A little bit low, and Turner had to corral that one. He throws that back into the Valley dugout. Counts now 1-2. 1-2 pitch, 1 out. Here's the pitch. It's a little bit low and outside. Counts even now at 2-2. Here's pitch. Right back up to short, and that's just going to be, or excuse me, second. That's just going to be a simple 4-3 ground out. And that'll be the second out of the inning. So Nielsen has retired back-to-back batters, but that's going to bring number 8, Alan West, to the dish. Alan had a single. I think he had that single that was kind of to the pitcher, and then the pitcher kind of struggled to get a hold of it, and it just ended up being a infield hit. A pitch taken for a ball. He falls behind the count, 1-0. Shout out to Alan's family. If you guys are listening, I think you guys are in the Dallas, Texas area. Talked to Mr. West yesterday, so shout out to you guys for tuning in. And shout out to Mr. West for visiting with me yesterday. That ball's taken. Counts now 2-0. Allen, a senior transfer from Lyon College in Arkansas. Here's the 2-0. That ball is skied into center field. We'll see if Daniels can get it. And he does. So that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Nielsen as he retires the side in order. No runs on no hits, no errors in that inning. And we're going to head to the bottom half of the third with the Missouri Valley Vikings coming up to bat. We are still tied at 2-2 apiece here. We'll be right back, guys. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, we are back for the bottom of the third here in game number 3. It's going to bring Josias Magalan to the plate. He struck out looking his first time out. He's going to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. Here's the first pitch from West. Swing and a miss. He falls behind in the count 1-0. Or excuse me, 0-1. West has 3 Ks so far today. Pitch taken for a strike. He falls behind quickly in the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. The ball skied into left field. We'll see if Sears can get underneath it. He can. And that's going to be first out of bottom of the third here. That'll bring number 20, Ian Daniels, to the dish. Ian grounded out to second his first trip up. Here's the first pitch. A little bit low and outside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. That one's way outside. Daniels moves ahead in the count 2-0. Here's the 1-0. That one is skied into left field. Sears just has to move a little bit to his left to get underneath it. So that's going to be back-to-back flyouts to left field for the Vikings. And 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third. Luke Stoner going to make his way to the dish, playing first base today. Struck out his first time up, struck out swinging. Looking for his first hit today. His first pitch from West. Ball's taken for a strike. Count 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1. Just a little bit outside. Actually, way outside. CMU enters today 26-12 overall. Missouri Valley 11-24. Here's that pitch. That's inside. Count 2-1. After today, or after this weekend, CMU is going to, they'll host Park University for a 4-game series. I think that's right. Is that right? Is softball here next weekend? Did I have them flipped? I think I had them flipped. Excuse me, guys. Oh, yeah, and then softball's got senior weekend the week after. Ooh, let's see if he went there. They said no, he did not. Count moves full at 3-2. Got him swinging that time. That's the second strikeout on Luke Stoner. Allen West moves to 4 Ks on the day through 3 complete innings of work. We'll be right back. CMU Eagles coming up to bat here in the top of the 4th. We'll be back. CMU Eagles baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, we are back. Tommy Girola is going to lead things off here in the top of the 4th. Here's the first pitch from Nielsen, taken for a strike. Girola had a sacrifice fly to center his first time up, and I think that, if I'm correct, I think that scored Conforti. I think. I'm pretty sure it did. Here's the 1-1. That one is skied out of play. And someone has parked their truck. It's off camera, so you guys can't see it, but they've parked their truck right outside the center field, or right out the left fence over here. And I know they're trying to stay out of the rain, but boy, that is a spot where you can get hit with a ball and your windshield is going to take it. And that ball gets into left field just past the third baseman, and Giarola's got his second hit of the day. Oh, excuse me, that's his first hit of the day. He's got a leadoff single to get things rolling here. Joe Weatherford, he struck out his first time up, playing right field today. He's going to bat. Here's a pitch. That one is skied high and out of here, over the fence, and Joe Weatherford is going to give CMU a 4-2 lead on a 2-run bomb to right field here in the top of the 4th inning. So Joe Weatherford, 2-run bomb to right field, gives CMU a 4-3 lead, and that's going to bring Joey Fitzgerald Jr. to the dish. He takes that first pitch for a strike. Pitch taken for a ball, counts even now, 1-1. Here's the 1-1, even. Fitzgerald fouls that one over to the CMU dugouts. He's going to fall behind in the count, 1-2. CMU will have one more game tonight if everything, mainly the weather, behaves themselves. So that'll be probably roughly a 9 o'clock start, so it's going to be a late night. So if you guys are around, brew some coffee, stay up with us. Fitzgerald's going to line that one into left field. We'll see if he's got enough room, and he does. It falls down, but is able to make the play. So that's going to be an F7. And again, it's been raining out here, guys, so I'm sure the turf is a little bit slippery. So number 9 hitter Logan Duty, he flew out to right his last time up. So, as I said, guys, that game two will start at approximately 9 o'clock if everything goes the way we want. So ball's fouled back. So like I said, if you guys are up, come on out to the ballpark, bring a blanket, bring some coffee, or just brew some in your apartment or your house, and you can just listen to me for however many hours. Natalie has to, so. Again, bringing out some dry baseballs. Here's the 0-1 from Nielsen. Just a little bit high and outside for ball 1. Count even. 1's across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nielsen. Duty hits that right back to Nielsen, and that'll just be a simple 1-3 ground out. That'll be the second out of the inning, and we're going to head to the top half, or the top of the lineup. Bobby Nichols is going to make his 3rd appearance at the dish. He was hit by a pitch his first at bat, and then he singled to short his second at bat. So he's 1 for 2 today so far. Bobby, I changed your walk-up song, so you are welcome. I'm hoping that it helps and get you going here at the plate. I know I always have my songs that I like to listen to, so we'll see what we can do here. First pitch taken for a strike. Falls behind the count, 0-1. I'd have to think of a walk-up song that I like. Softball's got some good ones, but I can't think of any at the moment. Pitch taken for a strike. Nichols behind the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And that one is sent into right field, and that is going to be over the right fielder's head, and Nichols is going to gun for second. We'll see if he stops at second, and he does. That is going to be a 2-out double for Bobby Nichols to right field. And I'll just take credit for that double because I changed your walk-up song, Bobby, so you are welcome. Robbie Merced struck out swinging his first time up, caught looking his second time up. So he is 0 for 2 today, looking for his first hit. He's got a runner in scoring position, and Nichols out there at second. Speedster on the base path. We'll see if there's maybe a hit and run kind of play or whatever the case may be. First pitch, and that is going to be sent back up the middle, just out of reach. And Nichols is gunning for home. We'll see if he gets there. And no one is covering second. So I think that's just going to be a 2-out RBI double for Merced. We'll see if they throw an error up on the board. I don't know if they will. Yeah, there was just, I don't know if there was just a breakdown in communication there, but no one was covering second base. So I'm going to score that as a 2-out RBI double to center. That'll be an RBI for Robbie. And Jeremy Conforti is going to come to the plate for his third appearance today. That ball's low and outside for ball one. Conforti singled to center in his first at-bat and grounded out into a 5-3. A 5-3 ground out in his second at-bat, so he's 1 of 2 today so far. Here's the first pitch. Excuse me, second pitch. Our scoreboard operator, I think, was snoozing a little bit. 2-0 count. Natalie agrees. Thank you, ma'am. Here's the 2-0. And he was swinging for the fences on that one. Nothing doing those. Nielsen gets that one by him. Counts now 2-1. CMU 5-2 lead here in the top of the fourth inning. They've scored 3 runs so far in this inning. That pitch outside for ball 3. Counts now 3-1. Sears is on deck, and then Allen West is after that if they get there. We shall see. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Merced is going. Foul ball. Counts. So stolen base for Merced. Let me jot that down in my notes here. Count is full. 3-2. That's going to be sent right over to the first baseman. He corrals it and is going to get that over to Nielsen. And I think that they got him. It was a little bit close. Conforti made that a close one, but that will just be a 3-1 ground out. But CMU pulls ahead here 5-2. They've got 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 Missouri Valley error. Valley 2 runs on 2 hits. So that's going to do it for us here in the top of the fourth. Vikings coming up to bat here in the bottom half of the frame. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here in the Hart Conference Network. Junpai Ohashi. Even with Allen West here as he leads things off in the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one is a little bit outside. Taken for a strike, though. Count is now 1-2 in favor of West. He's got 4 Ks on the day so far. That one just a little bit out of the zone. Counts now even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That is missiled over to what? Fitzgerald. We'll see if he can get it. He's going to be safe. I think that's going to be an error. My producer agrees with me. We'll see if they throw it up on the board. I'm going to say yes. So they're going to call that a hit for Ohashi. So that's going to be a single to third. So he's on with a leadoff single. Jaden Ma's at the dish. If you guys remember him, he's got, he had the 2-run homer in his last at bat. And he also had a 3-run bomb yesterday. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Here's the 0-1. It's a little bit outside. Counts now 1-1. One pitch. That one is sent to the backside of the net. Foul ball out of play. Counts now 1-2. One and 2 count. Ohashi over there at first. Here's the pitch. Got away from Duty. Looked Ohashi back, and I don't think Ohashi was going anyway, but good thing to keep him honest over there. Counts now even at 2-2. Is that a commercial? What is that? Oh, okay. Sorry, we got another baseball game going on, and there was just a very random commercial showing up on the screen, so I was like, what is that? Back to the action here at Estes Field. 2-2 pitch. West to Jaden Ma. Ohashi's going. Swing and a miss. Duty's going to get over to Merced, and I think they're going to... Nope. I thought they got him, but he is safe. Just gets under the glove of Merced. Jaden Ma strikes out swinging, though. That would have been an interesting double play. And that is going to be West's 5th K of the afternoon. He's got one out. Ohashi over there at second. Again, Missouri Valley struggled this year. They're 11-24 through 35 games, but always a little something extra when you play your rivals just down the road. That's what this is. Ruben Fernandez up to bat. He singled to left his last time up. So, rivalries around the conference. CMU and Missouri Valley, obviously. Baker and MNU, that's another good one. Grandview and William Penn, that's a good one. One 0 pitch from West. That one is sent right over to Conforti. He holds off West, says, I'll just take it myself. So that is going to be a unassisted ground out to first base. And West retires the side. Oh, no, he did not retire the side in order. I was about to wrap this inning up, but I forgot that we had a single in the first at bat. I am way too excited, guys. Excuse me. Forgive me. Ohashi, with that, he's going to move over to third. However, there's 2 outs, though. Jaden Simpliciano. Up to bat, he popped out to third base. Pitch from West, a little bit outside. And again, guys, I'm just really want to make sure that we can get these games in today, so. It's never fun playing makeup games. So if you can get them in when they're supposed to be scheduled, then it's easier for everyone. So pitch is low. Counts now 2-0. And Coach Schwellenbach and Logan Duty are going to come out and have a quick visit with Alan. Just a quick, brief conversation. And the home plate umpire is already coming outside. All right, guys, let's break it up. I always think that's funny. Says time to get it rolling. And I've heard that in the majors that because they've got the pitch clock now, games are 30 minutes shorter, which I don't know if that makes that much of a difference. Maybe it does. You think so? Does it? Fair enough. We'll talk about that. That one is skied out of play. Count is now even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That's been a long-standing conversation that they need to have a pitch clock, and a lot of people really like it. A lot of people do not like it. Natalie does not like it. I think it brings some ticky-tack things up that really aren't necessary, but I don't know. Always growing and changing and evolving. So 2-1 pitch. That one's a little bit low to Simpliciano. Counts now 3-1. He's got Ohashi over there at third. So a single anywhere will bring him home. Bring them within 2 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And got him on that one. Caught him looking. So count is now full. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fernandez is going to be going on this, Ohashi. I don't know why I keep saying Fernandez. Ohashi's going to be running on this play regardless. Here's a pitch, and that is skied into center field. We'll see who grabs it, and that is going to be a fly out to right field with Joe Weatherford taking that. So F9, so no harm, no foul here after that leadoff single in the bottom of the 4th. Eagle Bats coming up. They still lead Missouri Valley here in Game 3, 5-2. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Heart Conference Network. So new pitcher here in the top of the 5th for Missouri Valley College. Nielsen's day is done. He pitched 4 complete innings with 3 Ks, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. And that is going to bring Cody Linder to the bump for his first action today. He's a sophomore pitcher, bats right and throws right out of Greencastle, Missouri. Transfer from North Central Missouri College. We'll take this one. He's still warming up here. So let me see where we're going to be at. Are we at Bobby? Is it Bobby? No. Oh. We almost batted around our last inning, so I got confused. I was like, who is this? All right, so Tanner Sears is going to lead things off here in the top of the 5th. He walked his first time up and then had a 4-3 ground out in his second at-bat, so he's looking to get his first hit of the day. Tanner, sophomore catcher, bats right and throws right, 6 foot out of Higginsville, Missouri. Like I said, looking for his first hit today. And we'll move quickly here. So Linder, his first pitch. Going to be a little bit out of the zone for a ball. Counts now 1-0. Second pitch, fouls it off. Counts now 1-2. Or excuse me, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Sears thought about it. They appeal over to second or over to first, and they said nope. He did not, so counts now at 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That one is fired over to third, but that's going to be a 5-3 ground out. Good job by Ohashi to rifle that over. And that is going to bring Allen West to the dish. He flew out to center field his last time out. He singled to the pitcher's first at bat. He's 1 for 2 today so far. This will be his first time seeing Linder. Pitch taken for a ball. And that one is sent into center field. Easy play, though, for Ian Daniels, and that's going to be 2 quick outs. And the best walk-up song in all of college baseball makes his way to the dish, Tommy Giarola. And again, that's just me being totally biased. You guys can debate me all day on that. I'm okay with it. Tommy had a sacrifice fly in his first at-bat and plated 1 runner, and then he had a single to left in his second at-bat. Ball's taken for a strike. Second ball, that's a strike. So Girola quickly behind in the count here, 0-2. 0-2 pitch from Linder. And they're going to ask him if he did, and he said yes, he did. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Linder retires the side. In order, down go the Eagles, 1, 2, 3. We head to the top half. No. Which inning? What? We're still in the 5th? All right. Sorry, guys. The fact that, like, we're flipped on the scoreboard, I'm like, CMU is guest, Missouri Valley's home. It's just not computing right in my brain. So, Viking Bats coming up next. We'll be right back. CMU still has a 5-2 lead here as we're about halfway through this game, Game 3. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, we're back here. Bottom half of the 5th. Josh Turner batting for Vikings. Takes that first pitch for a strike. He grounded out to third his first time up. Here's the 0-1. Taken for a ball. Here's the 1-1. Got him looking that time. That's a strike, so Allen moves ahead in the count, 1-2. One-two pitch. And that is going to be skied high into the infield. See if Giarola can come up with it, and he does. So that is going to be a pop-up to second, and that is going to bring number 4, Kyle Weber, who plays right field. Just to make sure Natalie's got that. We had a debate last time of when I said number 9. They were like, what? But we got it. So, Kyle Weber playing right field, which is the 9 position. He is batting 9 in the order, but his jersey number is number 4. So there you go. Could you imagine if he was number 9? Oh, it would have been madness. Alas, takes that first pitch for a strike. Here's the 0-1. That one is lined over to Merced, and he's got a long throw to get, and I think he will eke out a single, and he does. So good attempt by Merced over there at short, but just a little bit too far for him. So 1 on, 1 out. That is going to bring the top of the order back up, and I believe this is going to be... Is this a pinch hitter? Yes, it is. Is that 14? All right. That is Colby Dye. Colby Dye, freshman infielder from... Natalie, is this Roy City, Texas, or Rose City? Did we spell this wrong? Natalie's from Texas. She can tell us. Number 14. We'll figure this out, guys. Just make sure we say this correctly. He shows bunt, but that is bunted way high and out of play. Y'all just let me know. Royce City? How would you say that? Royce? Royce City, Texas? All right. That's what we'll go with. He's behind the count 0-1, though. Here's the pitch. A little bit low. Taken for a strike, though. Oh, right outside of the Dallas area? There you go. Who did I... Colby. Colby Dye. Here's the 0-2. Rain's starting to come down a little bit. That one is outside. Gets away from Duty. Duty's going to throw over to Giarola, and we'll see if they can get him. They don't. So I think that's going to be a wild pitch. We'll see what our official score gives that. I was right, guys. Ha ha. Wild pitch. Those are always the ones that always catch me up. Wild pitch versus pass ball, but... Weber moves from first to second, runner in scoring position now, but Dye is behind in the count, 1-2, 1 out to West. Here's the 1-2, just a little bit high and outside, counts even now at 2-2. And I gotta say, I'm glad I'm inside. I'm glad I'm not outside, because I feel like it's nice and toasty in here at the moment. It's not really toasty, but, you know, better than being outside. Dye fouls that one back, and we remain even at 2-2 apiece. And for some reason, I have a UIW pen in my hand. Did you go to UIW for a visit? Okay. UIW, they are it's University of Incarnate Word out of San Antonio. Yep, that would make sense. And got him on the punch out there. Dye did not agree with that, but caught looking. And I think that is Allen's 6th K of the day. Let me just count. That is his 6th K of the day. Number 20, Ian Daniels. Going to make his 3rd plate appearance of the day. He grounded out to second and then flew out to left. I don't know what is going on in the concession stand next to me, but just a bunch of loud noises. First pitch taken for a ball. Rain's starting to come down here at Estes Field, but we've got turf, so we'll keep on playing. Daniels fouls that one back. Count is now even at 1-1 apiece. So, again, shout out to the fans for coming out. You know, we appreciate it. It's cold and it's wet. It's raining. That one is skied into foul territory on the left side, and that's going to stay in for a hit, but I think they're going to get him out, and they do. So good job. I think that was Sears over to Giarola. So we'll give him the single there because it landed, but then a throw out from, was that Tanner? Was it Tanner? I think it was. So got a little too greedy there. Did Daniels, so that'll be a single to left. But then he was thrown out on a 7-4 throw out. All right, so no harm, no foul for CMU, we head to the top of the 6th here in game number 3. CMU still got a 5-3 lead here over Missouri Valley College. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Heart Conference Network. All right, Joe Weatherford going to lead things off for CMU here in the top half of the 6th. He had a 2-run bomb in his last at-bat and gave CMU the lead. Rain is really coming down, and it's loud on this tin roof, which is right above our heads, but it's keeping us dry. First pitch to Weatherford taken for a strike. Linder's still pitching for Missouri Valley. He came in relief for Nielsen, finished the day with 3 Ks and 4 innings pitched. Swing and a miss on that one. He gave up 5 runs on 7 hits. So his day was done. Count 3-1. Sorry, just making sure that we're right across the board on all of our scoreboards. We've got the scoreboard that we run on the stream, then there's the one in the outfield, which you guys can kind of see. Weatherford skies that into left, and that is going to get past the left field, and that's going to roll to the wall. And Weatherford is going to slide into second, and he's got a lead-off double here to start the top half of the 6th inning. And it is getting really dark in this press box, but I can't turn the light on. Again, if anyone's got a lamp, if they want to bring that by. If not, I'll just use my phone. We'll be good. And I think we're going to have a pinch runner. That is going to be number 11, Gannon Ruckman. Gannon saw a lot of action yesterday on the base paths. So Ruckman over at second, Linder pitching. Here's the pitch, shows bunt. Trying to see if they can get Ruckman over to third. This is Joey Fitzgerald Jr. He is flown out to left on both of his plate appearances today, so he is searching for his first hit in his third at bat. We'll see if he can do it. Here's the pitch. And he gets that one down, moves Ruckman over. We'll see if he is safe, and that's going to be a wild throw for the pitcher. So that'll be a successful sack bunt, or successful bunt for Fitzgerald, and then Gannon's going to score on the error by the pitcher. We'll see if that's what they gave him. I think it is. It is. Yep. So an E1 on a bunt. He does not get an RBI on that, so for all you folks at home. Again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Someone can message me and let me know. Logan Duty going to come to the plate, and they are having a discussion of some sort. I don't know if it's about the rain or if it's about that bunt. Alas, we are, I think, going to resume. We'll keep things going. First pitch to Duty. He's looking for a bunt as well. Again, no outs on the board, so CMU's got a 6-3 lead here. Fitzgerald laid down a successful bunt, and he probably would have eked out a single over at first, but wild throw by Linder over there. In a bit of a jam here. He's behind in the count 1-0 to Duty. Duty shows bunt again. He gets that one down. Good bunt by Duty. And no throw there is, I think they'll just give that a single. So that'll be a single. He successfully moves Fitzgerald over. At third, and we head to the top of the order again. Bobby Nichols, he was hit by a pitch his first at bat. He has since singled and doubled. And again, I will credit it to the changing of his walk-up song per his request. So, Bobby, you are welcome. We're going to have a conversation at the mound, and I think we might have a change in pitchers. We shall see. I don't know if Coach Merrick came out. We'll see if anyone comes out from the bullpen. Again, I've got a big wall to the right that I get to look at, so I really kind of have to stretch and see. But I think they're just having a conversation. I think Linder's going to stay in. So CMU's got 6 runs on 10 hits, 1 error from Missouri Valley. The Vikings 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error here in the top of the 6th of Game 3 of this 4-game series. Eagles and Vikings split the doubleheader yesterday. CMU looking to pull ahead here with a victory tonight. If that is the case, they'll secure at least a doubleheader split, but you obviously want the series win. Helps your spot in the conference standings as you head into postseason play, which is coming up really quick. So. Bobby 2 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Linder. And that one is fouled just a little bit over the dugout at Missouri Valley. And he falls behind in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch. A little bit low. Job by Josh Turner to find that and keep Weatherford honest over there at third. Or excuse me, I think that's Joey over there. Is that Joey? 14 at third? Yeah, okay. Making sure I got that right. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And that gets away. That must have been fouled off because kind of just a stoppage at play. I think that was the case. I think. Yes? All right. 1-2 count. Yep. Here's the 1-2 to Nichols. Right down the middle, but high. Counts even now at 2-2 apiece. Nichols 2 for 3 today so far. He's got Fitzgerald at third, no outs, so really a hit anywhere will plate him easy. See what he does here. That's low. Nichols holds Fitzgerald third and says, nope, don't come home yet. Count is now full at 3-2. You got Duty over there at first, so you got runners in the corners. Here's a 3-2. That one is skied high but out of play. Runners at the corners. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And that one, is that Dom? I think it's Dom. Number 12, yep. So Dominic Van Dorn over there at first. Courtesy running for duty. The 3-2 pitch. And that one is low. Ball got away from him. Everyone goes back though. And bases are loaded with no outs. So. And another solid walk-up song is going to bring Robbie Merced to the plate. Robbie struck out his first 2 times up, but he since doubled to center, plated a run. So he is 1 for 3 today. He's got a good chance to bring in some runners. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 6th. Thought that pitch might have got him, but I don't think it did. But it lasted as high for a ball. Count is now 1-0. You have to wonder if with all the rain, if the grip on the baseball becomes an issue for pitchers. I'm going to say yes. Would you agree, Natalie? Yeah, I would say so. So that may be the reason we're seeing some of those wild pitches. Again, yeah, I think we're just switching out dry baseballs. Or switching out wet baseballs for dry ones. Counts 1-1 to Merced. Bases loaded, no one out here in the top of the 6th. CMU leads 6-3 here over Missouri Valley. Here's the 1-1 from Linder. And that one is skied high, but out of play on the right side of the field. And Merced falls behind in the count 1-2. Robbie, the 2022 Hart Player of the Year. He's a 2022 NAIA First Team All-American, NAIA Ball All-American. Also preseason All-American this past fall when that came out. So expect him to do big things in his senior year. He's a senior shortstop out of the Springfield, Missouri area. Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss there, but I think he just got a little bit of that, just got a piece of that, so he'll stay in as that ball was just fouled. Again, bases loaded. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Linder. Here's the pitch. And that one again is skied high, but out of play. You got Fitzgerald at third. Van Dorn over at second, and then Bobby Nichols at first. Just going to set the stage for you. Linder's still pitching. Here's the 1-2 to Merced. And that one is high. Counts now even at 2-2. So Merced really making Linder work for this first out. So Linder needs some help here if he wants to get out of this jam. CMU's got 6 runs on 10 hits, capitalized on 1 Viking error. Count even now at 2-2. Here's the pitch, infield playing in. And that one is fired over to third base, out of play though, so we'll go again. Count remains even at 2-2. Flag out in right field. Blowing, so the wind is going and rain is still coming down. Again, it looks pretty from inside, but I can only imagine if you're outside it's probably not fun. Checks Van Dorn at second. Here's the 2-2. That one's fouled back again. So again, guys, apologies we don't have the center field camera out for you today, but when it's pouring down rain, it's usually not a good thing for electronic equipment to be out, and we'd like to be able to use that for future games. So we'll bring it back out hopefully next game if possible. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss for Merced, so that's going to be the first K of the inning and the first out. That is going to be Linder's second strikeout of the evening, and that is a big one. So now force at any base. Well, there's always been a force at any base, but possibly a double play ball in effect now that can get him out of the inning. Jeremy Conforti comes up to bat. What did he do? He grounded out to first. So that was a 3-1 ground out in his last at bat. He was swinging for the fences on that one. He had a single to center field in his first at bat, and then a 5-3 ground out in the second, and the third, obviously, ground out to first base. So he falls behind in the count 0-1 to Linder. Here's the 0-1. That one's just a little bit low. Say Fitzgerald seems like he's wanting to steal home, but that would be quite a play. See if he can do it. Here's the 1-1 to Conforti. Pitch. That one is fouled out of play. Conforti falls behind the count. 1-2. And if Linder can get out of this jam, it would be quite impressive because he had the bases loaded with no outs at one point. Here's the 1-2. That one is low. Ball 2. Counts now even at 2 apiece. So next up for CMU, once they are done with this series with Missouri Valley, they're going to remain at home against Park. That'll be next Friday, Saturday? I'll have to double check, but they'll play Park for a 1-3 doubleheader each of those days, and then they'll wrap things up with Culver-Stockton. Actually, no, that'll be at Culver-Stockton. So next weekend is senior weekend, so if you guys are around, come on out and say thank you to our 2023 senior class. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Count moves full to 3-2 now. And you know it's cold out when you got people in the stands that are wrapped in blankets and standing, like running around in the bleachers. You know it's a cold. So I swear it was just 80 degrees yesterday, but that's the Midwest at its finest for you. It can change on a dime, and it certainly has. So 3-2-1 on the board. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Count is full. Got him swinging on that one. So back-to-back Ks for Linder after struggling in the early stages of this inning. And that's going to be his 3rd K of the afternoon. Guess I should say evening. Tanner Sears grounded out to 3rd his last time out. Here's the pitch. That is going to be a high fly ball. And out of play. Sorry, we had a loud bang in the press box, and I thought something bad happened, but it was just a water bottle. Right? That was just a water bottle? Okay. Just checking, making sure we're good. We've done some furniture moving in here, so I feel like it's a lot more efficient. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. I can see what's going on. That ball gets away from the catcher, and Fitzgerald is going to slide home into, well, home base, I guess I should say. Home plate. So CMU's got a 7-3 lead here. I assume that's going to be a wild pitch. And again, I think the grip on the ball is just tough with the rain. So CMU leads 7-3 now. Runners now at 2nd and 3rd. 1-1 count to Sears. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss. So 3 straight strikeouts swinging. So just to review this inning, Weatherford got on with a double to left, and then we had a successful bunt that eventually turned into an error for Fitzgerald. Logan Duty singled to third, and then we had a walk from Nichols. So the bases were loaded with no outs, but then we had 3 straight strikeouts from Linder. So he's now got 4 through 2 complete innings, and really did a nice job getting out of that inning. However, CMU pushes its lead to 7-3 here as we head to the bottom of the 6th. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Viking Bats coming up here in the bottom half of the frame. It's CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, so we're going to head into the bottom half of the frame. I think I've got Luke Stoner up to bat, and I do. He struck out swinging his last time out. Allen's got 6 Ks through 5 complete innings of work, giving up just 2 runs on 3 hits. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be a ball. Counts now 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss from Stoner. Counts now even at 1-1. You good? Okay. Did you do what you needed to do? Okay, good. Just checking. Ball outside. Counts now 2-1. I think I had my hits messed up. 5 hits for Valley. That's a strike there. Counts now 2-2. Here's the pitch. Well, it's a little bit outside. Counts even now at 3-2, please. What's the score of this game? No, well, not this game. I know this game, but that, yeah. Houston and Texas, okay. That ball's outside, so that's going to be a leadoff walk for Stoner. Just so you guys know, we've got Houston and Texas on an iPad here. So, in between innings, we're taking a look. So that is what I was asking. I do know the score of the game that is in front of me, though, so don't worry, guys. Again, not a lot of times am I on it, but today I'm with it, so. So runner on first, no outs. Ohashi sends one out to right field. Should be easy work, though, for Weatherford. That's just an F9 for Ohashi, and that's going to bring Jaden Ma to the dish. Jaden struck out swinging his last time up after having a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. That was to right field, so he's 1 for 2 today. Gotten a couple RBIs. He's got Stoner over there at first. 1 out. Pitch. Taken for a strike. Jaden, a sophomore infielder / catcher out of Canada. Played well this series. Here's the 0-1. That one's low, but again, taken for a strike, almost the exact same spot. And West is in control in this at-bat, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. And swing and a miss. There, I think they were checking the runner to make sure that he was going to stay put, and he did. So that is going to be West's 7th K of the evening. And that is going to bring Ruben Fernandez to the dish. Ruben grounded out to first base unassisted last time. He also has a single to left in this game, so he's 1 of 2 so far. And he must be cold because I think he's got a hoodie on underneath his jersey. So you know it's cold when players got that stuff on. So first pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled that back. Counts now 0-2 in favor of West. So after a leadoff walk, West has sat down the next 2 batters on a flyout and a strikeout. So we'll see if he can keep that trend going here with Fernandez. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Just a little bit outside. They wanted it. Everyone in the building wanted it, but the ump said, nope, that's going to be a ball. So counts now 1-2. Sorry, guys, I can hear the displeasure from some of these calls outside of the press box, so I'm finding it humorous. But counts 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. That ball is out of the zone. Counts now even at 2-2. Checks the runner at first. 2's across the board. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be fouled out of play. And looks like there's still just kind of a light drizzle. Not the hard, aggressive rain that we had earlier. You got to imagine that these players are going to want to be in the dugout getting dry in between games. I don't blame them. 2's across the board. Here's the pitch. Got him. And West was fired up about that one. So after a leadoff walk, he retires the next 3 batters, 2 of those being strikeouts. That is his 8th K of the evening. We're going to head to the top half of the 7th. CMU's got a 7-3 lead here against Missouri Valley in Game 3. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right. Top of the 7th here of Game 3. This looks like Allen West from my bad vision. It is? All right. Allen, after a single to the pitcher in his first at-bat, he has flown out to center his next 2 times up, so he's 1 for 3 today. He's even in this count to Linder. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. That one's a little bit low and inside. Excuse me, low and outside. Counts now 2-1. Allen, if this win holds, or if this game holds as it is, he should get the win. I mean, he's the only pitcher that's been in for CMU, so logic there. Makes sense. He's going to missile that over to second, but nice play by the Missouri Valley second baseman, and that's just a nice 4-3 ground out. Let me see if I can find it. Ruben Fernandez. Nice job by Fernandez. Good snag. That a lot of people that would have gotten by, but good job by him. So 4-3 ground out. West going to be retired, and that's going to bring Tommy Giarola. He had a sacrifice fly to center in his first at-bat. Since then, he has singled and then had a strikeout in his previous at-bat. So see what he can do here. Takes that first pitch for a ball. My scoreboard operator will pop that up on board. There we go. That's going to be skied into right field. We'll see if the Vikings have it, and they do. So 2 quick outs for Missouri Valley. And that's going to bring Joe Weatherford to the plate. Joe struck out swinging his first time out, but he rebounded nicely with a 2-run homer to right field in the 4th, and then he had a double to left. So, unfortunately, he can't get the cycle, but if he had like a triple in there, that would look really cool. And we've got some kind of stoppage in play. I'm not sure. Some issue with the fan, maybe. I think they said knock it off or we're going to kick you out. Not sure what happened there. Oh. So, I don't know, you guys can't see it, but just out of play over here on the left side, we've got a bunch of cars that are lined up on just right up to the fence, and I think a lot of folks have their headlights on, and so that's obviously blinding the pitchers and the outfielders and just everyone at play. So they said, you guys better turn those lights off so we can get these games in. I think they are. We're going to resume. Weatherford's going to sky that one high into left field, and there are a few Vikings, and that's going to be a drop, though, and he's going to scamper on over to second. I don't know if I call that a routine play. I'd give that a hit. That's what I'm going with. Natalie, what do you think? Would you agree? I'm going to agree as well. So we'll give that a double. Not a bad day for Joe. So we'll give that a double. That's going to bring Joey Fitzgerald Jr. He had a bunt attempt on his last at-bat. Reached on an error by the pitcher, and that actually plated a run. So see what he can do with a runner on scoring position at second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be sent foul. Back, so he falls behind in the count, 0-1. And guys, make sure you stick around for game 2. We are not done yet. No, we're not. It's a great day for baseball, though. Great evening for baseball. It's actually cold and wet, but, you know, we can still play, so that's good. Here's the 0-1. Looks back Weatherford at second. Really looking him back. Here's the pitch. That one's low and outside for ball 1. Counts even now at 1-1 apiece. CMU's got 7 runs on 11 hits, capitalized on 1 Viking error. Missouri Valley's got 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Linder looks back the runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled back, and that's going to have to hit someone's car. Nope. It really looked like it. Again, off the side here, there's probably 4 or 5 big heavy-duty trucks that are watching this game, and someone's going to get their windshield kissed here. Natalie, didn't you get your windshield busted, or was it didn't get hit? There's just a ding, not your windshield though. Swing and a miss there for Joey Fitzgerald Jr. So that's going to do it here for the top of the 7th. That is going to be Linder's 5th K of the evening. So Vikings have some work to do if they want to get back in this. CMU looking to take a 2-1 lead in this 4-game series here at Estes Field. Again, these games are supposed to be played at Missouri Valley, but with the weather and the field conditions over in Marshall, we said let's just bring it on over here to CMU. So Valley's got some work to do. Simply Siciano, Josh Turner, and Kyle Weber are up to bat for Missouri Valley. Allen West looking to get a complete game shutout here. We'll be right back. This is CMU Eagles Baseball here on the Hart Conference Network. All right, we're back. Bottom half of the 7th of Game 1. Simpliciano is going to lead things off here. He takes that first pitch from West for a ball. He popped out to third and then flew out to right in his last 2 bats, so he's 0 for 2 today, looking for his first hit. That's going to be Sky backing out of play. Counts now 1-1. Allen, if I have done my tallying correctly on my sheet, he's got 8 Ks so far today. Again, I'll confirm that when we upload the official stats. So, counts now 1-2. West ahead now. Here's the 1-2, and that's going to be skied out to center field. I don't know if Nichols is going to have to move a whole lot. He'll come a little bit in to snag that one, so that's going to be an F8 for Simpliciano. And CMU's just 2 outs away. Josh Turner coming up to bat. We're going to have a pinch hitter, actually, that's going to be number 10, Ueno. I think he saw some action yesterday. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Counts now 0-1. Kyle Weber's on deck. Here's the 0-1 from West. Swing and a miss again. Count moves to 0-2. West in command here. He's really warming up here in the time that you need him to. A little bit cold here in Estes Field. Cold in this box. Here it is. I think he got him swinging. He did. That's going to be a 2-3 ground out, strike swinging, and Rassenfoss makes his debut over there at first. So excuse me for not announcing that substitution. So Trey Rassenfoss over there at first. He's going to get the 2-3 put out on a strike swinging. That's going to be the 9th K of the day for West, and that is going to bring Kyle Weber. He is the number 9 batter in this lineup. Counts now 1-0. Here's the pitch. He's got 2 outs. And takes that one for a strike. Count now even at 1-1 apiece. Here's the 1-1. And he's going to missile that over in between Merced and Giarola. That's going to skirt into the outfield to Nichols. So that's going to be a 2-out single for Weber. And that'll go to the top half of the order. And I think we've got a pinch hitter. We do. This is going to be number 34, Luke Brooks. Luke, a freshman infielder out of Hastings, Nebraska. 34? Perfect. All right, so Brooks. Just log him in my sheet here. So he's got some work to do. He's got a runner on, but he's got 2 outs, and he's got 4 runs to see if he can tie this game up. But he's not going to be the one responsible for that. He just needs to get on base and kind of propel the Vikings to start stringing some hits together. But Allen has been wheeling and dealing today, so we'll see what he can do here. First pitch taken, low and outside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That one is skied high and out of play, and I think that's going to hit the tin roof. It sure does. Everyone got a kick out of that. That was fun. Don't worry, guys. You're covered. You're protected. We got you. Huh? I sure hope not. We don't want to put that into existence, Natalie. We can't do that. 1-1 count here. 2 outs. Runner on first. Got him looking on that one. So final out potentially coming up here. Counts 1-2. We'll see if West can do it. Have a complete game victory for the senior transfer from Louisville, Texas. He's got a runner on first. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that is foul back, and oh my goodness. That almost got Daniels. Hit the pole and bounced back, but I I think that's just out of play on your screen, guys, but that's scary. He was in the deck circle getting warmed up, and that almost got him. So, no harm, no foul, though. Just a little bit of a scare. So we're still good. So we'll do it again. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that ball gets away from Duty. Weber trots back over to first, though. No point in risking it. You need base runners. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. West looking for final out of the game. Got him. And that's going to do it here. Calm, cool, and collective for Alan West as he's going to pick up his 10th K of the evening. And CMU is going to take Game 3 over Missouri Valley College, 7-3 here at Estes Field. We've got one more coming up for you. Let's see if I can pull up some quick stats before we call it called an evening. So West, 7 complete innings of work. Gave up just 2 earned runs on 6 hits, 10 Ks, 116 total pitches. Joe Weatherford led the way in the offense, 3 for 4. He had 2 doubles and then a home run. Let's see what else I can pull up for you guys. And then Bobby Nichols had a good day, 2 for 2 with a double, single and a double. He also walked and had 3 stolen bases, so he was feeling it today. Again, I'll credit that for my changing his walk-up song. So Bobby, you're welcome. I'll be done after tonight talking about it, but I want to take that credit for myself. So West will get the victory. CMU's going to take a 2-1 lead in this 4-game series. We've got one more coming up for you here, probably in about 25 minutes, I would say. So first pitch is roughly set for about 9 o'clock here in the finale. That's going to do it here for Game 3. This has been Rachel Moore, Assistant AD and Director of Athletic Communications. Don't go away, though. We've got another broadcast coming up for you in about, like I said, 25 minutes. CMU improves to 27-12 overall, while the Vikings drop to 11-25. So we'll be right back. Don't go away, guys.